Hello everyone, this tutorial is to show you how to complete Lesson 3, Document 6, a 2-page memo or memorandum. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over and either grab a textbook off the table or we're going to go to the course website and click Course Textbook. And we're still in Lesson 3, so we'll need to download pages 9 through 12. So we'll download that and open it. And there we have it. Let's move down to page 11. And let me move this over. You can see that that's document number 6, 2-page memo. And it's asking for something called the XYZ memo. All right. So we'll need to go to our Google Classroom. And let's look for Lesson 3, Document 6, 2-page memo. If I click on that, we'll notice that XYZ memo is already there. So we need to click on this. And we're going to download it by clicking this button. And we want to open it with Microsoft Word and hit OK. If you're using Google Chrome, you'll see that file download down towards the bottom of your screen, and you can just open it from there. All right, there we go. So I'm going to snap that to the right. And they're asking us to save this as WD3-D6. But we, as always, do a little bit differently than that. So you're going to go to File, Save As, a Word document. And you type in your class period first, whether it be 1A, 2A, or 4B. WD3, because that's Lesson 3 in Word, hyphen DOC6. Document 6, and then hit save. Now we're going to key the memo shown below to Mason M. McClendon. So you want to click it here, and if you have your ruler open, you can see that is at the 1-inch point. All the items, the to, from, date, and subject must line up at that 1-inch point. Making sure that your bold is turned off. You're going to type this to Mason M. McClendon. Take your mouse and click from, and notice it says from you. So here you will type your name. And then it says copy Lee Sanderson. So that's later when we do our copy notation at the bottom. So keep that in mind. We're going to send a copy to someone called or named Lee Sanderson. Third direction says use the current date. And let me maximize this so I can show you. Anytime you want to do a date and it's the current date, you can go to Insert on your tab, Date and Time, and choose the third format and hit OK. Pops that right in there. If you want, you can just simply type it. If you think that's easier for you, you can just type that out. And then we go down to the subject, and it says effective time management. Make sure that bold is not on, so I have to actually turn my bold off. All right. So after that, I'm ready to type the body of the memo by pressing enter once. Notice by pressing enter once, it gave me a double space because I didn't press shift enter. Okay, notice as I typed all of the body of the letter or the memo, it went to a second page. And I stopped right here where it says just working faster or harder. And I stopped right there because I wanted to show you something different here. You notice we have a numbered list right here. So I wanted to show you guys how to handle that. All right, so I'm going to go here, press enter to get that double space. And then it says specific guides for managing time effectively are summarized below, period. I press enter. And let me maximize my screen so you can see. Make sure I'm on my home tab. And notice up here on the toolbar, I have something called numbering. And you can look for it. It has the numbers 1, 2, and 3 with lines protruding from each number. If I click on that, it's going to automatically give me a number 1. And notice that it automatically indented it a 1/2 inch. So let me go back and snap that back to the right. And then I can type list the things that have to be done. List everything that is important. And notice once I press enter, because I turned my numbering on, it automatically gives me number 2. Classify the things that have to be done into 3 or 4 groups based on their priority. Now notice in the book, it wrapped around to the next line, but in mine it didn't. So don't concern yourself so much about how it looks in the book. If it didn't wrap around, it didn't wrap around. And just continue it that way. Okay, so as you can see, I finished all 6 of the numbered list. And I'm going to press enter twice actually, because I want to get a double space after my last numbered item. And then I can continue with the body of the letter. Good time management is important. It ensures that we do the important things first and that we plan time for all the things that are truly important to us, including leisure and fun activities. All right, so let me scroll down and notice that was the end of the body. So now let me go back up to the top. And this is a memorandum, so we don't have the closing lines as we would have in a letter. So you don't have to put the sincerely. You don't have to put the person's name, because we put that, remember, in the memo, you put all that information here. We put who it's going to. It's from us. But we do need a copy notation. Remember in direction number 2, it says copy Lee Sanderson. So we are going to press enter once to give us that double space. And remember, with a copy notation, all you need is a lowercase c. And then you press tab to get that 1/2 inch tab. And then the person that you're sending it to, a copy to, who is Lee Sanderson. Okay, so we have our copy notation in there. Let's go back into our directions. It says include an appropriate second page header using different odd and even pages option. Okay, so once we went to the second page, notice nothing's there. Okay, so let me go ahead and maximize this so you can see what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go down to page 2 and I'm going to double click in that header area. Notice it comes up as header, and you can see at the bottom of page 1, that's the footer. So headers are at the top of the page, footers are at the bottom of the page. And we're going to use different odd and even again. Okay. Notice this time it didn't automatically pop up as it did in document number 5. So we're going to actually need to type that in ourselves. So if you remember, in the header area, you're going to put the first thing you're going to put is the name of the person that the letter or memo is going to. So if we go back up to the top, we notice that this is going to Mason McClendon. So something that I can do to make this easy is just copy and then go back to the header area. Remember, I got to double click to get back into that area, and I can paste that name in there. Press enter. On the second line, we're going to type the word page, and you don't want to put the number 2 in there. And the reason being is if you type in 2, but then you have another page underneath page 2, it's also going to be labeled as the page 2. So essentially, anything that you type in the header will repeat on every page thereafter. So page 2, page 3, page 4 will all say whatever's in the header here. So there's a little trick that we have to use. I type the word page and hit the space bar. And then if you look up here, I have my header and footer tools. I want page number. And then I want to insert page number at the current position. And we can just use a plain number. And what that will do is it will automatically insert whatever page that page is. So if that happened to be page 100 that we were on, it would automatically put page 100 right there. Press enter one more time. And you want to insert the current date. So I can go home. And go to insert, date and time, that format, which is the third one down. Hit OK. And I'm going to press enter one more time just to give space between the letter and the heading. I'm going to get out of my header by double clicking back in the letter. I'm going to look over my memo. I'm going to look over my memo, make sure everything is okay. It looks fine. That looks good. Got my second page, looks nice. Now, one last thing though. It says include the attachment notation for the handout. So there's apparently a handout that they want us to put. So that actually goes a double space after the body. And we're going to put attachment colon, press the space bar twice, and then the word handout. And that'll let the people that receive this memo know that there's a handout in addition to this memo. So that's it for this one. You want to look over it, save your changes, and then close it. Return to your Google Classroom, add it, upload file, select the file from your computer, and this is document 6. And once that uploads here, you can turn in and turn in. And that completes this instructional video. If you have any other questions, definitely feel free to ask me.